it's Surbi Chinta with SS Multimedia, and today we're going to be learning how to use 8 as a factor. So, our objective for today is to learn how to multiply by 8. So, let's get started. So first up, we have a few examples here. We have 8 times 3. So we know that 8 is 2 times the amount of 4. So 2 times 4 equals 8. So that means 4 times 3 would be half the amount of 8 times 3. So we can use that and draw an array to show 4 times 3. So we're going to draw 3 rows of 4 to show 4 times 3. So here we go, we're almost done. So now we can count them to find out how many circles there are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So now we know that 4 times 3 is equal to 12, but now we have to figure out 8 times 3. So since 4 is half of 8, that means 12 is half of whatever the answer is. And we know that a half is basically just 1 over 2. So we can reverse that and do 12 times 2 to get what 8 times 3 is. So 12 times 2 is 24, and we know that 8 times 3 is 24 now. If you don't know how to do 12 times 2 yet, you can always just do repeated addition and do 12 plus 12, which is equal to 24 as well. So now let's try some more. Next up, we have 8 times 5 here. We could do what we did earlier by just doing 4 times 5 and then, or 4 times 3 in the last problem, and multiply that by 2 or add that by itself to get 8 times 5, or we could do an array of 8 by 5. That means we would do 5 rows of 8. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, and we would do this 5 times to show 5 times 8. Now we have 8 times 5 because there's 8 rows of 5. We can count them. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So I just realized that I only did 4 rows instead of 5. So since we know this is 32, we can go 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we know that 8 times 5 is equal to 40. Right. So now let's do our next problem. So here's our last example, 8 times 2. There's one more we can do this. Since multiplication is really just repeated addition, we could do 8 plus 8 to show 8 2 times. And 8 plus 8 is 16. So then we would have 8 times 2, which is equal to 16. Now we're going to do some problems. Feel free to pause this video and try them out yourself. So first up, we have 4 times 8. I'm going to do the array method and do 4 times 4 instead, and then we can multiply that by 2. So 4 times 4 would be 4 rows of 4. So we would have 4 rows of 4 again. And then we would multiply that by 2 to get our answer. So we know that this is 4, then we can go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16, but that's only 4 times 4. So we need to find out 4 times 8. We can do 16 plus 16, which is equal to 32. Or we can also do 16 times 2, which is the same thing, and we get 32 again. So we know that 4 times 8 is equal to 32. So next up we have 7 times 8. So what we can do here is we're going to do repeated addition. We know that 7 times 8 is really just 7 8 times. So we can do 7 plus 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 7 to get 7 8 times. So now we add them all up together. 7 plus 7 is 14, and then these two would also equal 14, then these two would also equal 14, then those two would equal 14. Then we do 14 plus 14, which is 28, and then 28 plus 28 is 56. So we know that 7 times 8 is equal to 56. So our next one here, I'm going to be doing a full array. So we're going to do 8 times 6. So we're going to do 8 rows of 6. All right, so here we have 8 rows of 6. Since it's going to take a long time to count, I'm going to add them. So we have 6 plus 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 another 6. So that would be equal to 48. So now we know that 8 times 6 is equal to 48. So our next one is 8 times 0. So we know that whenever you multiply something by 0, it always equals 0. So we can't draw 8 rows of 0, it's hard to draw that because 0 is nothing. So 8 times 0 would equal to 0 because again, anything that multiplies by 0 is equal to 0. Our next one, we have 8 times 1. And again, with 0, there's also a rule with 1. So what we can do is whenever you multiply something by 1, you get the same number back. So 8 times 1 would be equal to 8. You can also draw an array of one row of 8. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have a few more here. Now we have 10 times 8. So 10 times 8. We could do 4 rows of 10 and then multiply that by 2. We could do 8 rows of 10 and that would be our array, or we could do repeated addition. Since this is 10 and the number is probably going to be big, I'm going to do repeated addition. But since it's also 10, I could do something else. Since whenever you multiply by 10, it's basically 1 and 0. So we could do 1 times 8 and get 8, and then 8 times 0 is 0, so we would get 80. You can also do repeated addition and do 8 plus 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 8, and you would also get 80. So there's multiple ways to do the same thing. It's really up to you which one you want to do. So finally, we have a word problem here. So there are 9 rows of cupcakes. So let me underline the important parts because we don't want to forget these things. Each row has 8 cupcakes in it. You want to underline that too because it's giving us a number of how many cupcakes there are in each row. How many cupcakes are there in total? So we know that there's going to be 9 rows of cupcakes. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 rows. And we also know that there's a total of 8 cupcakes in each row. So, including this one, we're going to draw 7 more. Well, no, not including that one, we're going to draw 7 more to show the 8 cupcakes in each row. All right, now we have 9 rows, each with 8 cupcakes in them. So we can count them now, but that's going to take a long time, so let's use repeated addition. So we know that's 8, and then we're going to add another 8 for the other row, and we're going to keep adding 8s until we run out of rows. So we are almost there. So now we have 9 8s. So then 8 plus 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 8 is equal to 72. To do this, I just added 8 plus 8, which is 16, and then those 2 8s are also 16, and those 2 8s are also 16, and those 2 8s are also 16. So we have 4 16s. Then, since it's odd, we have a leftover 8, so I'm going to bring that 8 over here. So then, I'm going to go over here, since I don't have that much space. We do 16 plus 16, which is equal to 32, plus 32 again, plus the other 8. 32 plus 32 is equal to 64, and then we still have that 8. 64 plus 8 is equal to 72, which is how many cupcakes there are in total. I hope you like this video. For more videos like this, make sure to turn on your notification bell to find out when we post new videos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.